Hey, what's up? I'm Ash and today I'm shooting Dave's 1984 XE ESP Falcon. It's dressed as an 82, it's got the original colour and it's running a blown worked 393. It's making just over 700 horses. So this is going to be a really cool shoot. It's actually going on the cover. We'll get into that a little bit later, but for right now I'm going to give you guys a closer look at the car.
Ford's XE ESP was, at the time, the epitome of Aussie-made power and luxury. Stuffed with technology like power steering, power windows and aircon, it was meant to be the end of the line for the V8-powered Falcons, a decision Ford would later backpedal on. And Dave's Quickie takes everything that is great about these iconic Falcons and turns it up to 12. Factory-styled interior and exterior, a tough stance and an 871 blown Clevo make this the ultimate modern muscle car.
So I'm just getting my gear set up and we've found the perfect spot to shoot today. We're in this nice big empty shed and I'm going to start off with some of the details. So I'm going to do the interior, I'm going to do the boot, and I'm going to do some close-up shots of the engine bay while it's light outside and we've got a bit of light in here, and then when it's dark I'm going to start doing the light painting. But when I get all this stuff going, I reckon let's have a chat to Dave and Kobe, because I actually saw these guys at Power Cruise last year and had a chat to them. And they told me they have a couple of ESPs, so I reckon they've got some stories for us. So let's chat to them while I get this sorted.
Hey, I'm Dave. This is my son Kobe. This is my 1984 Falcon XE ESP. I've had it for 23 years. We built it as an events car, do like Power Cruise, Summer Nats, Peninsula Motorfests, and sort of cruise around as much as we can on the street, use it as much as we can. I bought it in 2003. And then in 2007, we built it and it was my wedding car. And then did the events for probably the next 3 years. And then I went, oh, put a blower on it, let's do that. And had kids and it sort of just got put aside. And then 3 years ago, I put it back together. Yeah, decided to finish it and then slowly get it better and better to where it is now. So yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, so I've got 4 ESPs. I've got this one that I've had the longest, and then I've got a silver 302 auto, one that's got a 427, 630 at the wheels, and then I've got a white one with a barra in it with GMH heater number plates, and it's 1200 at the wheels, runs an 8, and then at the moment we're doing up a stock original charcoal one that Kobe can, for when he has his piece. So it looks really good, and it's very hard for us not to do something crazy in it, but we want to, it's hard at the moment. We're in two minds of what to do. I could make it cool and fast really easy, but we're probably going to make it original. So
I still got 2 years till my license, and I think the car's probably going to be done before 2 years, so he'll drive it a little bit, and yeah, I'll sit in the garage, watch it, sit in the passenger seat.
After 10 years of hibernation, Dave blew the dust off the car in 2001 and began the build that we see here today. Inside the cockpit, the interior looks mostly factory, with the exception of the digital dash, keypad, B&M shifter and that full race fabrications cage that sits against that tidy trim.
So it's worth putting in the time now and checking for little bits of fluff that stand out, making sure the carpet's nice and clean, making sure that the seat belts are the right way, that they're rolled up neatly, because there's nothing worse than editing and you're like, oh, the position of that seat belt isn't right, or there's something that's just drawing your eye away from the details you want to focus on. So I always check myself and then get the owner to check as well and just tidy things up if they need to. So for the interiors, I've got my 2 strobes set up, and I never like to go below about a 9 f-stop just to make sure that everything's going to be super crisp for print. So I like to stay at 9, and if I need to lower anything, I'll lower my shutter if I need more light, or that's if I can't adjust the lights. But the f-stop, the aperture, I like to have sit on at least 9 for these feature cars. Nice, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So that was just playing with settings a little bit. So aperture's still at 9, I'm using 200, ISO at 200, and my strobes are on quite a high power at the moment. And so even though it's light in here, because I am using the strobes as my main light source, with that shutter speed and everything, it's dark enough so blacks out enough of the background and just highlights the seats, which of course are what we want to concentrate on. So I've just spotted the M-Tron keypad mounted in the middle of the dash. So to get a full shot of that, I'm thinking I'm going to slide into the back seats and shoot through front seats. Something a little bit different, something cool looking. The details of the car are all done, and I've started to light paint, and I've begun here at the engine bay. And I just wanted to show you this shot quickly because I think it's a really good example of bringing out the highlights. So the engine's black, which can be really, really hard to photograph, and they absorb so much light. So sometimes it's trial and error of really running around with that light to get the highlights. And when you get it right, it looks like this. So if I can show you the detail of that, and then I'm going to flick across to one where maybe I didn't get the highlights quite as well. Like that one there, for example, they're still there. Actually, you know what? I got all the highlights pretty good. So we've just finished light painting the engine bay, the boot and the tyres, and now we're going to move on to the exteriors, and we're going to start with the money shot, which is the cover. So I'm going to do 2 different versions so they've got the option, and it's pretty specific what they're chasing for. They do show me an idea of what they're looking for in terms of angles and things like that, which can take a while to get right, and you want to get that right in camera. I don't want to be cropping it or anything like that. I want to get this cover shot exactly how it's going to look on the page. So that might take a little while, but let's get started.
When I'm shooting cover angles, I always go overboard. I'll spend around 10 minutes getting the framing perfect in camera, and then run at least 15 passes with the light to make sure that every panel is evenly lit and with minimal reflections. So once I've captured the bodywork, interior and wheels, I'll switch on the headlights for a pass, and then the brake lights as well. So that way I've got multiple variations to choose from for the final cover image. I also make sure to capture separate exposures of the ground and the surrounding walls, so that way I can blend everything cleanly in post, especially those shots with the lights on and lights off, which can be tricky. Under controlled light, that vermilion fire paint really comes alive. The vibrant orange colour pops in the same way it does when direct sunlight hits that paint, and the XC's sharp body lines make it perfect for light painting. For the rest of the general exterior shots, sometimes you can nail it in a single pass, which did happen a few times while I was shooting the rear angles, but it always pays to do a few extra passes because there's usually something that I'll pick up on in editing that I won't be able to see on the back of the camera. The XE runs a forged 393 cube Clevo stroker topped by an 871 supercharger. Dave is half grout filled the block, and it's running a solid cam, so it's obviously intended to make some big power, and Dave has already started collecting parts to make the combo even crankier. The car actually runs EFI, giving it great on-road manners, with 1000cc injectors and a massive boot-mounted fuel cell keeping E85 up to the combo, which is controlled by an M-Tron ECU. Underneath, a trans-braked power glide fronts a 9-inch diff built by James at Full Race Fabrications, who was also tasked with tubbing the rear end and massaging the chassis rails to fit the meaty 295 radials. Between the 4-link suspension, RC comp wheels, custom 3-inch X-pipe exhaust, and the 6-point cage that's neatly tucked away inside, the XE easily blurs the line between street and race car, channeling inspo from Dave's other 8-second barra-powered ESP. This shoot was a dream. The empty warehouse couldn't have been a better spot, and the XE's body lines made it the perfect canvas. It's always a privilege to shoot a cover car for Street Machine. So let's take a look at the final results. Make sure you grab a copy of the April issue and let me know what you think and what you'd like to see more of. But for now, let's roll the shots.